frameworks. To me, individual frameworks just give those thought textures names, like a bookmark, so you can access it quickly and not forget it. www.facebook.com exists whether you have it bookmarked or not. In the same way, if I have a really cool guy framework for talking to women, those thought textures of confidence can exist in your brain with or without the bookmark. You can have the same confidence without intentionally running the framework, but having it summarized into a framework can increase consistency and ease of access, so you don't lose it when you see a dadgum gorgeous bitch and start getting nervous. You did do it right at work. Getting under the waves is getting under the language. If you stop perceiving your thought textures as jagged language fragments and instead listen to the music underneath the words directly, you are riding the riptide. Building the boat, the bad thing, is trying to force a series of faulty early 2000s rinky-dink human words into the shape of your entire brain. That's where all the dumb thought loops come from. So stop building a boat and go under. Those are the emotions you felt. And when you find a really good emotion that you want to preserve, slap a name on it, like Razor Dildo Ass Ripper 30,000, and boom shakalaka, you got your ass a framework. Frameworks do not require pretense, only language does. Frameworks are just the physical substrate responsible for thought textures. The emotions you're talking about are thought textures. The pretense is the language you use to rationalize those thought textures. When you talk about turning off your thoughts and getting down to feelings, what you're really doing is turning off language to get down to thought textures. Imagine the difference between raw code and your experience of that code as a video game. The raw code is a framework. That's your brain arranging neurochemicals into particular thought textures. And he says, some of my favorite thought textures are from perceiving danger. And I say, picture other people like a song. A song is a framework. A good song will give you good thought textures. A good other person can give you a good thought texture, but you don't need them. He says, sounds like schizophrenia. I said, I can have the feeling of waging war across dimensions sitting on the toilet if I play my framework cards right. And you should read Deleuze. His whole philosophy was based around schizophrenia. He thought it was a powerful tool. He said, I was thinking of that earlier, though. You could simulate what war would feel like, not real war. That's what I believe. And I said, as long as you don't get stuck on what you think war is like, you'll be fine. Think about fighting. There are mindsets that are much better than others, but sitting on the couch all day thinking about it will never be quite the same as getting punched in the face. Best to have a balance of both. As long as you don't get attached, you'll be fine. And he says, like the paranoia of being followed when you're actually being followed versus when Jock is smashing his iPhone into an ambulance so the CIA can't find him. I would never. I say that it all comes down to maximum efficiency. Frameworks could absolutely lead you to delusion if they are not grounded in an exterior principle. Frameworks are literally the ungrounding of truth. If you throw truth up in the air and have nothing to replace it with, don't be surprised when it falls back down in your head. That's what the will to taste is for. If you wouldn't spit in God's face for $1, he wouldn't like you. Jock says, yeah, for me, I believe it was my stepdad gaslighting along with coincidence which brought my sense of reality to a vulnerable point, which is a fascinating thing to experience, I might say. I wonder if all my breaks were from my and others instilling doubt my reality. Originally, I was aggressively trying to break all delusion, which led to solipsism, and I somehow nearly internalized it. Instead of solipsism, go allipsism. There is nothing but me. There is no point where things stop being me. Doubt in reality is not an issue in itself, but when it's out of your grasp to control, it can be very harsh. Others forcing doubt would be unsurprising